yourself, or you can never say how you really feel. Until now, yeah. When the sun down, my mind is on the rundown. I be feeling like my happiness is on the come down. But when I speak to you, I feel like it's a touchdown. Finally found me someone I can really trust now. I always had so much to say, but no one to say it to. If I could talk to you today, I know I can make it through. So let's have this conversation like a radio station. So let's have this conversation like a radio station.
It's finally Friday, and it's time for the conversation with Maria Byrd.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd, and I'm super excited about today's show because we have with us a very special guest. She is a native of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. She has always had a love for God and His people. At the tender age of 10, she coordinated her first faith-based event that was well over 3,000 in attendance. At that moment, her parents, Joe and Audrey Harris, knew that this was a gift that needed to be hidden, cultivated, and then released. She is the pioneer and visionary of several businesses and humanitarian efforts, including Project Kingdom Class Entertainment, and the JoLanda Harris Agency, just to name a few. She is also the CEO of JoLanda Harris Enterprises, which includes not only JoLanda Harris Agency, but also Loyal Lash Co., who is she, and the Church Girl Club, which is comprised of over 10,000 women from all around the globe. Please help me welcome to the show my very special guest, Minister JoLanda Harris. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sis. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Wow, it's an honor to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Wow, how are you?
I'm amazing today. Any day we wake up and we alive, it's a good day.
Yes, ma'am. It's a
day.
really good day today. And so before we get started, there may be someone that's being exposed to you and your ministry for the very first time. Okay. So can you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am JoLanda Harris, and that's just simple. I am a hope giver. I'm an encourager. I'm a pusher. I'm a reformer. I'm a daughter. I'm just JoLanda. It's so much, to me. I'm just JoLanda.
Yes, ma'am. Well, again, it's an honor to have you with us today. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. And I'm absolutely excited. I absolutely love it because not only are you my sister in Christ, but as I stated in the bio, you're just an awesome woman of God. God is just doing so many great things in your life.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am. And one of the things that I absolutely love is that you recently released a publication, The Diary of a Church Girl. Yes. And so can we dive into this?
Sure.
Tell us about this awesome publication, The Diary of a Church Girl.
Okay, well, so The Diary of a Church Girl is really the story of my life. Wow. It really is the story of my life. Of course, as you know, our apostle, our spiritual father and spiritual mother, Apostle Travis and Dr. Stephanie, they activated that author in me. I always tell people I don't read like that. I wouldn't read books or go and buy books, so why would God want me to be an author? So one day Apostle was in his vein, and he said, I want all those that want to write a book come down. I don't know how I got to the altar. I think I was just I was close and I was close enough to the fire, but they activated that author in me. Wow. And then I have my best friend. They really accelerated that book out of me, and I had a lot to say. Yes. I went through a lot. I've gone through a lot, and I'm like, wait a minute, somebody needs to hear this and be able to come out of the things that I came out of alive. Yes. And so that's really where The Diary of a Church Girl came from, because like I say in the book, everything I learned in church. Wow. Going to church, going to the club. Going to church, fornicating. Going to church, cussing you out. Going to church, fighting you at church. So I did all of that, and I never left the institution of the church. You know how some people, they backslide, they go do their thing, and then they come back to the church. No. I made lukewarm look good. And so I stayed there, and I did everything that I did in church, and I wanted to really share, that, it doesn't matter what you've gone through, the pain, the perversion, the pit stops. There is ultimately a promise that you have to reach. You have to reach. So it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you've done. God's will still has to be done. We're really talking about that done in your life. And so that's really what this easy read, I call it an easy read. You can read it in one setting, an hour and a half. You can read it. We also have interactive pages where you can write in the book. And because I wanted you to be able to tell your story. And if you write it in here, then you'll be able to write it, and then you can be able to tell your story.
Yes. Wow. OMG. And you guys, I'm super excited because she want to bless 2 individuals today. You have the opportunity. So if you're watching via Facebook Live, we want you to comment, we want you to like, we want you to share the video, and you have the opportunity to win one of these awesome publications. If you are listening via radio, we want you guys go to my website, www.mariabyrd.org, and send me write me just a whole little thing about how today blessed you, and you have the opportunity to win a copy as well. Wow. OMG. So I love your transparency, just how you wrote down your experiences, and can you just talk about that a little bit more, as far as just being in the church, but also getting caught up in all this stuff?
Well, that's easy because growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, I talk about it in the book. We had to kind of create our own trouble. We had to create our own mischief because we were always in the church.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, my school, how I really started, I say I'm between the church girl and the trap queen, at school is really where I learned how to be normal, or how to be balanced, if you will, because everything that was around me was church. My mom is the only girl of six guys.
Wow.
So all of my uncles are preachers. 4 of them are pastors. So what you think else we was going to do? Go to church. Understand?
Right.
So, but when I got 6th to 12th grade to a very ghetto school, let's just say it was very ghetto. I ain't like it was ghetto on the east side of Oklahoma City. I wasn't Miss Audrey's daughter, or Reverend Howard's niece, or Reverend Howard's granddaughter. I was just JoJo. I was JoLanda. So I got in a lot of mess. I was in a gang. It's so much stuff because I wanted that balance. I wanted people to be able to see me outside of just going to church. When you come birth through rejection and low self-esteem and stuff like that, whenever people want to embrace you, it don't matter what they're doing, you're going to want to feel that love.
Right.
So it don't matter if it was a gang. It doesn't matter if it was I talk about in my story how I was introduced to selling drugs, selling crack cocaine, methamphetamine, water, pills, you name it. I did it. And I met through school a guy that was like a child. In that time, he was the love of my life, my very first boyfriend at 15 years old. But he introduced me to that world because I wanted to be normal. I didn't want people to. My mom still to this day can't go to Walmart without people stopping. Like, Miss Harris, I didn't want that. I wanted people to be able to see me for who I was, even though I didn't even know who I was. I wanted you to see me outside of church. Wow. So with that came not even really perversion yet, but the I would say that's when my prophetic kicked in, because we would go to make drops and things like that, and I'd be like, yo, this don't seem too right, this doesn't feel right. And right when I would say that, something would happen. And so that world became my family really quick. And I made a lot of money for a lot of people, and but I still never left the church. And so I got into, now my boyfriend at the time, he's like, well, how about this? The church world. So let's introduce the church world to the dope game. What? Let's do it. So now we're pushing into the church.
Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Come on.
Yeah. So now we're pushing it into the church, and that's what we don't want to talk about. A lot of those of us in the church, we have a lot of addictions. I don't understand why people think because we are in church that we are freed from addictions and different sins, if you will. But no, we're people, and that's why God has allowed the institution of the church and have put pastors and apostles and people in our lives to kind of guide us in a different direction. So that's where my I always say, you know, I'm like a sparkling chameleon, the best of both worlds. That really came through that time, you know, in my life.
Wow. And you know, thank you so much for your transparency.
Absolutely.
I know this is blessing so many people. Yeah. And so let's talk about that a little bit more. Let's go back to that part of your testimony about how just colliding those two worlds.
Sure. Colliding those two worlds.
Yes.
I was in a vicious cycle. And a lot of people will never be honest about this, but I felt like the more wrong I did, the more God was blessing me.
Wow.
And that ain't nothing but pride. I was singing all across the country with people. I had a group, I had a singing group at the time. I had all of this stuff, and it was flourishing. But I'm still doing this, and I'm not understanding why it's still going good. And I believe that God, for a minute, was about to turn me over to the will of my own flesh, to a reprobated mind, because I really thought that I could do both at the same time. I thought I was ambidextrous. I could do both, two things at the same time, and evidently it didn't work.
Wow.
But a lot of people, you know, it's not a surprise. It's not anything, but it was pride. It was confidence that, you know, God loved me. He gracious. He ain't gonna do nothing. Let me go out and do what I want to do. And it was because at the time the right hands weren't on me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all it was.
And can we go back? You know, like, because, you know, when I hear these things, it makes me wonder, you know, how did you get there? How did you know that there's something, you know, like your childhood? Tell us about your childhood. Like,
okay, so my childhood again was all in church. I had a different type of childhood.
Gotcha.
I always say this, and I know my mom is on. I always say this. Again, my mom was the only girl, so I grew up with a different last name than everybody. Everybody else had this last name, but my mom was married, so I had a different last name. I don't look like anybody. On a good day, I might, but I don't look like anybody on my mom's side. So, of course, you know, that comes with a lot of rejection because you're around people that you don't look like. I don't talk like them.
Come on.
My last name is not like them. So I was thrust into a situation early on of rejection and didn't know it.
Come on.
So you're in a Baptist church, so they don't talk about spirits and different, you know, things that resonate in you or that you're actually birthed through. I didn't know nothing about that. I just knew, you know, I was fatter than everybody else. You know, I was louder than everybody else. I felt different things in church that maybe other people didn't feel. I would see different things in church, and then they would happen.
Wow.
You know, so I was really literally the black sheep, if you will, of the family. A lot of other traumatic things happened to me. From 6 to 8 years old, I was molested from 6 to 8. Every Sunday evening, this situation happened to me, which caused me to now have a hatred for women.
Talk about it. Talk about this.
Because, and I always say this, hallelujah to God, thanks be unto God, it did not lead me to, you know, like lesbianism or none of that. I ain't never had an issue trying to want a woman, but it led me right into the arms of the male species.
Talk about it.
Because I wasn't comfortable being around a woman, because it was a female, not a woman, a female that did this to me. So now I don't want nothing to do with a woman. I don't want nothing. I don't want no sisters. I don't want no cousin, friend. I don't want none of that.
Talk about it.
So I was more comfortable around men because I felt safe.
Right.
Around men. And so, and then that led me into, you know, later on in years, you know, running women on the street and, you know, things like that. Because I didn't have a resolve. I didn't have a respect for women. I didn't. And it led me, that's what led me into doing the things, you know, that I did, you know, at an early age.
Wow. And you know, it's amazing because oftentimes, you know, I know a lot of women that have issues with other women.
Sure.
you know, but it stems from a place.
Absolutely. And you don't want to be honest because, you know, what happens in this house stays in this house and all those other things. But what happened in this house is killing me. And then when I have a daughter, she's going to be birthed out of rejection and anger and bitterness and rage. And I'm trying to figure out why she's trying to fight me because you didn't deal with it. You didn't deal with it. And it's okay. You know, things happen. God is gracious and merciful. And you have to forgive those people and move on.
Yes.
You know, but I just thank God that, you know, it happened the way it did, and it took, you know, my best friend really sticking with me and him staying with me and saying, hey, you got to get through this because you can't go to this if you don't really address this. And that was really one of the things that really thrust me again into the arms of the male species. And I was, I was a hot, funky.
But woman of God, let me ask you this because I'm so curious because like, You mentioned, you know, just different things that, you know, you got involved in at that particular time, whether it was selling drugs, whether it was, you mentioned something about running women. What does that, I don't, what that mean?
Maria, you know what that means.
I don't know.
So running women, so what I did, I would be with certain particular people, well-esteemed people, and so I would be in charge of, you know, when they got done, you know, their job, we'll say their job, because you know, ministry is sometimes a job, that I would make sure that their women were in place, you know, for them for that night. So I was really a madam, like I was running women. I ran, let me tell you something.
And this was in the church?
Huh?
This was in the church?
Yes, where else was I going? The Diary of a Church Girl? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And because I didn't have regards for women, so whatever they do to you when you go in this room, I don't care. Because everybody's gonna get paid.
But see, you know, and again, thank you so much for your transparency. No, come on, woman, because I'm telling you,
it's the truth, though. It's in the book.
Necessary. Yeah. And the thing about it is that, you know, to me, it's amazing because not only are you sharing your story, but I mean, this stuff is going on in the church.
Absolutely. Where else is gonna go on at? You know, we really, for some reason, try to be like the world. And I don't even think, no, it ain't even that. It's not even that. It's the strong spirit of perversion, power, and pride. The 3 P's, perversion, power, and pride. That these people, we feel like, you know, we have that power over people, you know, and that's what it is. It don't even have nothing to do with the word power, perversion, and pride.
OMG. That's the truth. Power, perversion, and pride.
Absolutely.
And you know, I guess like in the midst of all of this going on, you know, and you know, you were still in the church.
Absolutely.
Did anybody pick you up in the spirit?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And we talk about that in my chapter called Blessing and Bleeding. So I left my home church, the Baptist church, because I knew there was something more for me in the spirit.
Yes.
So I went to an apostolic church, and because I was such an asset to them, they thrusted me into ministry. I literally did everything. I went in as minister of music, praise and worship leader. I worked in the children's ministry. I was the head armor bearer adjutant to the co-pastor first lady. I literally did it all. Administrative work. I literally did it all, where I was trying to come from a place to where, okay, Baptist, we know that's a certain traditional, religious type feel. But here this is, I got something in my belly. I don't really know what to do with it. But then I go to this place to get healed while I'm bleeding, and they thrust me into ministry. So I never had a chance to really heal. And I do believe, and I love them to this day, speak to them often. Anytime I go home, I try to go see them, because they introduced me to the apostolic, the ways of God, the things of God. But I didn't have time to heal, because you got to do this, do this, do this, do this. Keep us domestically and divinely. Had to keep all of these things going. You ain't got time to heal. Heal for what?
Wow.
So then I began to bleed out on the people,
talk about that.
because I never got a chance to heal. In my book, we talk about, God gave me a revelation on, my best friend, they call me the revelation junkie. I can get a revelation out of anything. God gave me a revelation on, and this might be a little too much, but it's for women. Y'all can be like, girl, yes. Every woman, when their menstrual cycle comes, we all know that we bleed differently. Not only do we bleed differently, we bleed on different days, different times of the month, different lengths of time, different flows. You understand what I'm saying? And with all of these different flows, there are different sanitation products that coincide with your flow.
Right.
I may not be able to use the same sanitation napkin that you use. You might not be able to use the same one that I use. Here's the thing. It's not about the napkin either that you use. It's the point where you know, okay, this may happen 3 days, may happen 5 days. I know that I'm bleeding. I'm aware because the symptoms are here. I'm in pain. There's something going on. I know what's going on. It's a cleansing process. It has to happen. I know what's going on. Here's where we mess up. We mess up when we aren't responsible enough to change our napkin.
Come on.
This is where we mess up. Whoa. So it's not that bleeding is bad. Going through is bad. The process is bad. No, it has to happen. Where we mess up as Christians and church girls or church men alike is that we know that we're bleeding. But we just gonna sit there and you're gonna bleed through your... No. Get up. Go change your sanitation napkin. And when we become responsible enough, nobody will know that you're bleeding unless you don't become responsible. And you sit there and wait and allow this process to come through you. But you're not smart enough, or you don't care enough to take some time and say, you know what? I'm bleeding and I gotta go.
Come on.
Change my sanitation napkin. And that's where I was. I would just bleed out on the people. I would cuss you out, talk crazy, talk about your mama, your dog, your cat, and your fish. I did not care.
Come on.
I was at that point, and I would lift your hands every Sunday. My apostle at the time, I was prophesying to the people. He was laying hands, but I was prophesying and crazy as a Betsy bug. Just bleeding all out. I would prophesy to you, and if you didn't do something I didn't like, I would cuss you out. Why? Because I wasn't responsible enough. And the leadership at the time wasn't responsible enough because they were feeding my pride. They were feeding my ego. I need you. I need you. I need you. And Apostle Jennings tells us, if you have a strong spirit of rejection, you want to be needed. So because they needed me, it was feeling, oh, this can't happen without me. So I don't even care if I'm bleeding. I'm doing this. And it was feeding my ego, and I was bleeding out on the people.
Come on. And see, I love the lesson that's in this because, you know, like you said, oftentimes we may need to sit down, we may need to heal, but we're not doing that. We're just serving, bleeding on the people.
Bleeding on the people, and then you wonder why people don't want to come to church. You wonder why people don't want to talk to you because you're nasty. Wow. You have an older, and people always say you have an older in the church. You grand. You this. There's so many people that I was at a recording last week, and somebody told me, they was like, you're not even the same person. Like, I knew you was gonna walk in here with this, and I'm like, child, that is Father, forgive me. That's not even me anymore. But I'm like, yeah. I was a mess, and because I was bleeding on the people, because I did not take time enough, and I didn't have the proper leadership at the time, and that was not their assignment to me. And I had to realize that too, because you could be mad at people for not helping you, but they're not assigned to snatch you out.
That's good.
I had to come all the way, but that's later, to Atlanta, Georgia. My God.
Yes.
To be snatched out. Because they couldn't do it because they were too familiar with me, and I was a celebrity to them. I was a celebrity to them. I was an asset. And that wasn't a bad thing. They taught me so much. I didn't know how to pray like that and how to do all that till I got there. So their assignment was not to snatch me out.
Wow.
Their assignment was to pacify me.
Now, see, this is really good because, you know, there are a lot of people that may be dealing with church hurt. You know, you may be upset at your previous leaders, but they didn't have you. They couldn't do what you needed from them.
They weren't the right hands.
We have to know, like you said, we have to know when it's time to change that sanitation napkin. We have to know when it's time to move on.
To move on to the right hands. It's always about the right hands. When the right hands get on you,
come on.
Now, Apostle talks about that all the time. You put a golf club in my hand, I'm gonna break a window. You put a golf club in Tiger Woods' hands, he gonna change the game of golf. And so when the right hand gets on you, then all of this that you see, that's when it'll activate and happen.
Yes.
Yeah, so ain't nobody worried about church hurt. You get hurt at work, but you keep going. Your boyfriend or girlfriend hurt you, but you keep going over to that. Y'all keep going out to eat. Right? Grow up. That's what I tell everybody. Grow up. You'll be fine. You'll be just fine.
And this is so good. This is so good. And you know, I'm so curious, woman of God, because you know, there may be someone that's listening, and maybe they're right there in the thick of your testimony. And my question would be to you, what are some things that they can do to begin to walk out of that particular lifestyle? How can they, like, what's like some practical, you know, steps?
Honestly, and I thank you because you said this, and I'm sure this is probably not going to be the answer that you thought I was going to say. There isn't any steps. There isn't any steps. You have to make a conscious decision in your mind that whatever God tells you to do, you do it. And I never wanted this book to be 5 easy ways to walk right with God, and 5 easy ways to you know, transform your life. It does not work like that.
Come on.
For me, it doesn't work like that, because the 5 steps for me could be 12 steps for you. So who am I to tell you this is what you need to do, and in 30 days this is what's going to happen? No, I had to make a conscious decision that this I don't want to do anymore. So God, what we gonna do? Because I have to now partner with you, because evidently JoLanda can't do it.
Come on.
So I need you to do it. And every day, once you make a conscious decision, it's evolving. You have to every day, all right, Lord, what we gonna do today? What we gonna do today? And you're not going to get it right every day. Yesterday I had a horrible day.
Come on.
Today is going to be an amazing day.
Come on.
You have to command your mind, but you have to make a conscious decision in your mind. And I made a decision that I'm going to follow Jesus. Where he leads me, I'm going to go.
Yes.
I'm going to go. And ironically, I told him that in Oklahoma City, headed to Dallas. Thought I was going to be in Dallas. And then he led me all the way to Atlanta, Georgia. No family. Few friends, have no business being here, not a part of any lifestyle that Atlanta promotes. So why am I here? But where you leave me, I go.
Yes.
I go. I don't know why I'm here. This is what I was telling him, but I'm here.
Wow.
You know?
Yes.
And so there is no step. You have to, the only thing I would say is you have to make a decision to follow him.
Come
period.
on.
And wherever he goes, you make the decision. I'ma go.
That's it.
So if he leave, if I'm in the valley, he's there. If I'm on the mountain, he's there. But I'm gonna make a decision to follow him.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
OMG, that is so good that we have to make a conscious decision. We have to be intentional.
Yes.
Come on.
We have to be intentional.
Wow. And so, you know, you got to that place where you made that conscious decision, where you decided to be intentional. And like you said, it's not overnight.
No. You're ever evolving. You don't dot all your I's and cross all your T's. You may perceive to the people that you got it all together, but you don't have it all together. I don't want it all together.
Come on.
Because then what is God gonna do? Where do we leave room for him?
Yes.
To correct us.
And that's so good. That's so good. I'm glad you brought that up, because like you said, oftentimes we will try to act like we have it all together.
Sure. Oh, I had that down pat. So please, you couldn't tell me nothing. Couldn't tell me nothing. That my hair was up. You're a liar? No, I'm perfect in all of my ways. That's that pride. Because the right hands hadn't gotten on you yet. To knock you down. Because I believe that God puts leaders and pastors after his own heart to guide you in that direction and to guide you into all truth. But I didn't have nobody at the time, so I was doing what I wanted to do.
Come on.
I was my own pastor. I was my own God. I did what I wanted to do.
Wow.
And that's where people get twisted and messed up. That's where
true.
they get messed, because they want to lead their own lives, because they've been back to that church hurt. They've been hurt.
That's right. And that's how we get in trouble. Like you said, when we want to be our own God, when we want to do our own thing, we don't want to listen to nobody. Can't nobody tell us nothing.
No. What? Tell me what? It didn't matter leadership. It didn't matter at that time when I was leading my own life. I would cuss you out. Up and left my parents' house one day. My parents on Saturdays, Saturdays are funeral days. Those spirits were it's in the book. Those spirits were leading my life so strong that for no apparent reason, I got up, took everything out of my room, and left my parents' house. They didn't know where I went, where I was. I got an apartment 2 miles outside of the city limits. I was way west of Oklahoma City. That's how strong those demons were leading my mind. But I thought, I was doing my own thing. Can't tell me nothing. Who gonna check me, boo? Ain't that what they said? Who gonna check me?
Right.
I wasn't. No. But that's those spirits that reign and rule over your life if you don't have anybody over you and covering you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Covering is so significant and so key. OMG. This is so good, woman of God. Yes. Well, listen, you guys, I don't want you to go anywhere. We're getting ready to take a quick commercial break, but I want you to keep it locked right here. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
Thank you for tuning in to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
So let's have this conversation
On WIGO 1570 AM radio.
You can connect with Maria Byrd here Fridays on The Conversation at 11 a.m. Go to www.mariabyrd.org. You can sign up for her newsletter. Check out the latest from The Conversation. You can be the next guest, have your song featured, or donate to the cause. Learn about marketing opportunities. Check out the giveaways, special promotions, free tickets, and the latest from Maria Byrd Publications. Again, log on to www.mariabyrd.org. That's www.mariabyrd.org.
WIGO 1570 AM radio.
All right, I need you to open up your mouth. Come on, give God some praise. We lift your name up higher and higher. We shout your name out louder and louder. We lift your name up higher and higher. We declare you are God. We lift your name.
We lift your name up higher and higher.
Come on, somebody do
We
it.
shout your name up louder and louder.
We lift your name.
We lift your name up higher and higher.
We declare
you are God.
Here we go. Lord, we lift you up. We shout your name louder and higher in this place. Lord, we need you. Draw us to you. We lift your name up. I need you to put your hands in the air. Come on, baby. Draw us closer. That's where we are. Draw us close. We wanna be where you are. Draw us closer to you. Come on, tell them, closer to you. I need you to put your hands on this one. We lift your name up higher and higher. Yeah, we shout your name out louder and louder. We lift your name up higher and higher. We declare you are God. We lift your name up.
Higher and higher. We shout your name up louder and louder.
I need to see somebody dancing right now. Come on.
Higher and higher.
We declare
you are God.
Oh, Lord, you said this is his word, y'all. If we lift him up, he said he'll draw all men unto him. So tonight we're gonna lift up the name of Jesus. Draw us closer. We want more.
If we lift you up from the earth, draw men to you. So we lift your name up.
Give it up. Hands in the air again. We lift your name up. Your name up, we shout your name out. We lift your name up, we shout your name out. We lift your name up, we shout your name out. We lift your name up, we shout your name out. We lift your name, we shout your name. We lift your name. We shout your name. We lift your name. We shout your name. We lift your name. We shout your name. You said in your word, if we lift your name, you would draw us, Lord, closer to yourself. So we lift you, God. We do it for real. We do it for real. You're the only God. You're the living God. God, we lift your name. We lift your name. We lift your name. We give it to you, God. You deserve it, Lord. So we give it to you.
Thank you for tuning in to The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
So let's have this conversation
On WIGO 1570 AM Radio.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back. You are listening to The Conversation with Maria Byrd. You just heard the powerful song Draw Us from the Try Again Live CD by recording artist Enrique Holmes. And guess what, you guys? It is available for purchase on all digital media outlets. Big announcement, you guys. We are gearing up for the future, and the future belongs to influencers. All change agents, creatives, and solutionists, meet us where the influencers gather. That's going to be January the 10th through the 12th, 2019 at the Harvest Tabernacle Church, located at 1450 South Deshaun Road in Lithonia, Georgia, 30058. In order to register, please go to www.influencersgathering.com. Meet us where the influencers will gather. Where, you guys, we are back with my very special guest, none other than Minister JoLanda Harris. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm excited. Hey.
Yes. Hey. OMG, before the break, you was just really just breaking it down, just sharing us more regarding your personal testimony, the person of JoLanda Harris. And so I wanted to ask you, based on everything that you've been through, how in the world are you not jaded towards the church?
The right hand had to get on me. When God led me to 1450 South Deshaun Road, I was a hot, funky mess. I didn't want nothing to do with church. No. I didn't want anything to do with church. I didn't want anything to do with preaching. I didn't want anything to do with any of it. When I first moved to Atlanta, I was here almost a whole year and didn't go to church. For what? I was over it. But again, back to what we said, when the right hand gets on you.
Yes. And
I thank God for Apostle Travis C. Jennings and Dr. Stephanie Jennings. And of course I have mentors and things like that. But when the right hand gets on you, the first thing Apostle told me, Apostle, our pastor, he just says what he wants to say. And here I am again looking at him like, well, who you talking to like that? And he looked me dead in my face. And the Sunday I joined, he said, can I prophesy to you? I'm like, go ahead. That's exactly what I said. I said, go ahead. He said, you're a preacher. Hey, pastor, you're a prophet. And I'm looking like, I know. He said, but you're so full of pride and perversion. And I looked at him. And he looked right back at me. He said, but if you stick with me for 6 months, and then of course we went out under the Holy Ghost, and Apostle through Holy Spirit kept his word. Wow. And I'm a new creature. Yes. So I've forgiven all of that. I've forgiven myself. Thank you, Lord. Apostle gave me an opportunity to and nobody knows this, but I want to share this. Remember when we had the Christmas party last year? We had young ladies that were, hostess and things like that. And I don't know why. I know it was Holy Spirit. Apostle, he didn't even really know my testimony in depth at the time, but he put me in charge over the hostess ladies for the party.
Come on.
And I was getting them together and getting their hair done and stuff. And while we were doing that, I heard Holy Spirit say, I have now forgiven you for what you've done and the part you played for all of these women. And I just began to cry. And one of our sisters, she was like, what you cried about? I was like, girl, don't even worry about it. I had been forgiven. God had forgiven me for that part that I played in that season of my life. And I later on told Apostle, thank you for bringing me to that place where God could forgive me for the part that I played in the mess. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's how I don't have any church, or I don't care. Like, for what? What's that gonna do for me?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. People hurt you every day. You have expectations of people and they let you down. So what's the difference? I don't have no church hurt. For what?
Yes.
People can't hurt me in the church. I'm sorry. It cannot happen because God forgave me, and I don't really too much care about what nobody else thinks.
So anybody that's dealing with church hurts out there, just let it go.
Let it go. Like,
let it go. Let it go.
Life is too short.
It is. Life is too short. And you know, as you said, woman of God, you are a preacher. You are a preacher. And so I wanted to ask you, you know, like, just regarding all of your life experiences, come on, let's preach a little bit. Can you just relate it to some of the people in the Bible?
4 people.
Yes.
I would say Habakkuk, Rahab, David, and Hannah. We talked about Habakkuk.
Yes.
Of course, Habakkuk was one of the 12 prophets. And the thing I like about Habakkuk is I have my email address is askjolanda.com. I used to get in trouble for asking too many questions in school. Like, my teacher would literally tell my mom she talks too much and she asks too many questions. Well, I want to know. I'm nosy. I want to know. I like to be in control sometimes. And so Habakkuk asked God a question: why are these people going through this?
Come on.
Why are these people going through this? So I really think, like, I'm in that sense, like, not only with being a prophet, but Habakkuk. And then, of course, with Rahab, Apostle called me Rahab, which I said, mighty God, why would you call me that? But you know, Apostle like, shut up, let me give you the revelation. So what he really gave me the revelation is that I was birthed and born to cover leadership and men and women of God. That's one of my strong gifts. Yes. And you know, Rahab, that's right, made her house comfortable. Come on. For the men of God. Now, a lot of people called her a harlot and she was a this and she did. Okay, well, I did all of that too. So I believe that's what we coincide with her. And of course, with Hannah, everybody said, you know, with her infertility and things like that. But I believe Hannah was faithful. Come on. She was persistent. She didn't care. You thought she was drunk. She was a fool. She was crazy. She stood there because she knew that she had a promise from God. And she wasn't going to let up until he did what he said he was going to do to her. Gave her a promise. And that was her son. So I definitely believe that Hannah, I always say this, I'm somewhere between Rahab, Hannah, and Remy Ma. Like, somewhere in between there, you gonna find me. All right, see, that's where you gonna find JoLanda. And then David, I believe because David, he wasn't the people's choice.
That's good.
I've never been the people's choice, even to this day. I'm not the people's choice, and I'm gonna say I'm not the people's choice, but I'm God's choice. And I'm God's favorite. Yes. And so when the king went out to look, say, okay, is this the one? Nah, this ain't the one. Okay, is this the one? Well, no, that ain't. Okay, is this the one? No, that ain't the one. Do you have anybody else? It got to be somebody else. Well, I got one. She don't really look like she talked with a list because her tongue big. She didn't really know her colors when she was 6 years old, but you know, she could preach a prophet. Well, no, but she don't look the part. No, she ain't like it. No. Well, no, go get that one. Go get JoLanda. And so then when you come, oh, this is the one. God's choice. I'm not the people's choice. Never have been. I had to come to grips with that. I ain't gonna be the people's choice, and that's okay. But I'm God's choice.
Come on.
And God will bring the people in that say, oh, yeah, that's God's choice. So those 4, I believe that God has kind of put those individuals at this point in my time. I might move on to Sarah one day or Elizabeth or somebody else, but now it would definitely be those 4 people that throughout the course of my life, those characters and those characteristics of those people have shaped me into the woman of God that I am.
I love that. I love that. I love that. You said that's so key what you just said. Maybe because, you know, oftentimes individuals may feel rejected. They may feel like, you know, people don't like me. I'm not popular, whatever. Right. But it's okay. I'm not the people's choice.
Hello, but you're powerful. When you open your mouth, listen what I'm telling you. So it don't even really matter. And it ain't even really about being popular, because I've always been that. I've always been, you know, the life of the party. When I walk in, everybody want to be around me. But when the assignment became clear, when my purpose became clear, I can't play with y'all no more. That's when, she ain't the one. She ain't it. No, I've always been it.
Come on.
But I ain't playing with y'all no more. So that's really when you really know your assignment and your purpose. Then that's when your circle changes. And now, you ain't the one.
Come on. And that's so true, because like you said, when you make up your mind, I'm not playing with y'all no more.
Hello.
People want to get an attitude. They think, she changing.
I am. I'm ever evolving. Yeah, Jesus is the same.
Come on.
Yesterday, today, forevermore. But there's something. This is life. It's a journey.
Yes, it is.
My base will never change. But who I was 3 months ago, I'm not her.
Say that.
So I always say, I said this one time, before they put this metal in my mouth, I was a different type of person. You understand what I'm saying? But then when they put this metal in my, there are certain things I can't eat anymore. There are certain words that I still have a problem articulating because I got all this stuff locked up in my mouth. So I'm not the same person that I was 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
I don't talk the same. I don't act the same. My face, I had paralysis in my face. My face wasn't the same. I didn't look the same.
Come on.
Natural coincides with the spirit.
Wow.
It ain't the same. And you can't make it the same. You can't make me be who I was when I wrote this book. Because I'm not. When I wrote this book, I left her in this book. Yeah. I left her in this book.
Yes. And I think that's critical, that we need to understand and know that we are ever evolving, that we are ever changing, that we're ever growing. Yeah. And it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. And for those that are in your life and know that it's okay and that you are evolving, they'll stick and stay.
That's good.
They'll drop off. It don't even matter. Bye. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Yes, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Mildred.
Bye, Mildred. Yes, I think that's so critical because, like you said, the ones who's supposed to be in our life,
they'll be there. They don't care. And they don't care if you raggedy, you off. I've had certain people in my life say, you off, something going on with you right now, and I'm going to give you some time to get yourself together. But I know it don't matter if it takes 5 days, 10 days, or 3 weeks. They're not going anywhere.
That's good.
But there are some people, you acting funny, I'm gone, I'm ghost, I'm this. All right, well, bye, and then bye, just bye. But there are some people that are not question marks in your life, but they're exclamation points.
Yes. Yeah. I like that. Come on. Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah. Because like you said, if people are, they try to come when, quote unquote, they perceive that you're on some mountaintop. But who was with you when you was in your valley?
Who was there when I was in Oklahoma? Lights was going off because I couldn't really pay my bills because I was letting those demons and those spirits run my life. So I left the funeral home and decided to do hair. I ain't had no business in a beauty shop doing no hair. Struggling. God almighty, thank you. Struggling. Hear me. Struggling. Turning on candles. Lighting candles.
Come on.
But those people that were there with me, I take care of them now. I send cash out, send them something. They were like, what you sent me this for? Just because I thank you.
Wow.
I thank you. When I didn't have nothing, you were there. And the people that are with you when you don't have anything, you keep those people. That's those people, because those are the ones. Not when you get to where you're going, wherever that is. Those that were with you when you didn't have nothing. Those are the ones you keep close to you.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And what I absolutely love about you, woman of God, is that you're just holding your experiences and the things that you've learned, but you're just sharing it, and it's blessing so many women around the globe. And just because I wanted to ask you about just one of your businesses that you have, but before I do that, what would you say regarding just love and people?
Well, love is a decision. Love is not a feeling. It's not goosebumps. I talk about goosebumps too in my book because I talk about lost loyalty as well. But love is not like, I got goosebumps every time I see. No, that's the spirit to tell you to run from that person, whether it be a relationship or whatever. Love is a decision that whatever you do, if you make a stupid decision, I'm going to love you through it. If you make a good decision, I'm going to love you through it, because God made a choice to go to the cross.
Come on.
He didn't feel like going to the cross. You think God felt like going to the cross for us? because he loved us so much. Oh, I got goosebumps about Maria and JoLanda, so I'm gonna go on ahead and let them, beat me with a cat of nine tails and put these thorns in my head and nail me to a cross. I felt like it. No, it was a decision that he made, and he had to live with that decision. So whatever comes with you and me loving you, I made a decision.
Yes.
That I'm gonna love you through it. And so that's really my take on even loving people and loving people through where they are now, where they will be, where they're going. That's a decision that you have to make. Now you can change your decision now.
Come on.
But you got to make a conscious decision. It ain't about all that goosebumps and things like that. Because you can be loyal to someone or something and not love it.
Come on.
That's that lost loyalty. So, because I've seen people in the time where I was, out being a track queen or a main girl, that I've seen people, there was no love in the game. Ain't no love in the game. It's loyalty. So, if I feel that you're not loyal, I've seen people, shot dead. I could even love you, but ain't no love in the game. It's that loyalty. So you're dead.
Wow.
Because love is a decision. Loyalty is not a decision. You gotta be loyal. Gotta be loyal. People think that loyalty is a decision. No, love is a decision.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on. Yes. And so, woman of God, I'm just so, amazed at the different things, your businesses, your humanitarian efforts. And, one of the things that I absolutely love that I'm actually a part of is the Church Girl Club. Yes.
You see how I get so hyped when we talk about the
over 10,000 women from all around the globe.
In a year and a half.
Wow.
So here's the thing. So, I didn't like women. So, God, why do you I just had this yearning to be close to women. I didn't want to do conferences and stuff like that. To me, that's jaded and that's whack and that's late. And I didn't want to do that. And I'm like, Lord, how do I have a community of women that I can encourage, inspire, and uplift on a daily basis? And he said the Church Girl Club. And I was like, what in the world is a church girl? What is that? And, he gave me the instructions. I submitted it to Apostle, submitted it to Pastor Stephanie, and they were like, go forth and do it. And I was like, I asked on social media one day, I was like, hey, if I start something, a community where we just, I just pour into you, send you something every day, because God gives me so much. Would y'all be a part? And people were like, yeah. And so the first month, I was just like believing God for 500 people.
Come on.
I was like, God, you gonna give me 500 women I could talk to. Child, October 2017, by December of 2017, it was well over 1,300 women. I don't know where these women came from. I mean, and this is a group where you have to be added in, so it's not a like page where people can just go and like it. No, you have to be added in. And just the women everywhere. People come to me at Walmart, different churches, like, I'm part of the Church Girl Club. Like, I don't know everybody. I can't touch everybody. But we are just a group where we love, trust, encourage, and empower. It's so many things, and it's not systematic. I'm a prophet. I'm not systematic with certain things. So we talk about anything. We have a thing now where we have a segment every Tuesday now. We're talking on the Black Couch, where we're talking about things that have nothing to do with church. And I believe, you're in the group. I'm praying that you're encouraged and inspired on a daily basis.
Yes, absolutely.
And it was just really what God gave me, and the Church Girl Club really healed me, because it's like, it's sister girls out here that I can pour into, and they can pour back into me, and I can trust women again. So it was really more so for me, because of my motives were pure. God, I just want to trust women again.
Come on.
And now God gave me a group of over 10,000 women that I talk to every single day. And I know it's going to just flirt. I mean, if he could do that in a year and a half, like, come on.
Right.
But, that I could just pour into. But it was really for me. It wasn't for I need everybody to give me $1 a month. No, it was like, I need to talk to y'all because I don't like women and I want to like women. So y'all gonna help me through this. here we are.
Wow. And it's amazing because oftentimes the enemy will try to challenge you in the area that you called in.
Yes, and I believe that's what it was. And then with Pastor Stephanie, like, you got to call in the women. I'm looking at her like, no, I don't, sis. Like, no, I do not. And she's like, yes, you do. No, ma'am, I do not. And now look, so that's what we do every single day. It's a good thing. It's a lot. So it's a lot that's coming up in 2019, but it was for me.
Yes.
Wow. So as I was being snatched out, I was bringing all of y'all.
Come on. Yes. And there may be women that's listening and you feel like maybe you have issues with women. Just for a few moments, can you just speak to the women? Can you just speak to the women, just regarding building that connection, trusting women again?
Yeah, I always say this, I didn't lose my mind so I could help you not lose yours. So there are women that you just have to be strong enough in the spirit to know, okay, I can connect with her. Okay, this can be my friend, this can be my sister girl, this can be my this, and put women in certain categories and folders so you won't get hurt.
That's good.
So you won't get hurt. But it doesn't matter what you've done. All of us women have that commonality. Even if it's, like I said, our mistress, everybody got one. You know what I mean? And I learned just through complimenting women.
That's good.
Man, it's so pretty today. I love this jacket. I love this color on you. I love your new frames. I had to work at it. And then putting people in certain perspective. Everybody's not supposed to be your sister girlfriend that you can call every day and talk to on the phone for hours. That's not their assignment in your life. And you can't make people be that to you. When they were never meant to be that to you. And I think that's where we kind of get hurt.
Come on.
Because we try to make everybody our best friend. Everybody. You can't do that. You're going to get hurt. You are not my best friend, but you're my sister. And if I ever need somebody to come on and pray and get me through this, I know I can call you. Because that's your assignment to me. My assignment is to encourage you. Maybe help you, uplift you. Hey, let me show you how to get to the next level with this. This is how you're going to have to look. This is how you're going to have that. So we got to be helpers one to another. But if we can get past this tearing people down or putting people in the wrong categories in our lives,
that's good.
Then we could all just flourish together.
That's powerful.
And make it move
That's
together.
powerful.
Yeah.
That is powerful because as women, we will try to make everybody our best friend.
Yeah, and just because I don't speak to you today don't mean I don't like you. It's just maybe something else is on my mind.
Right.
But we so emotional. But that's us. That's women.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Wow.
I love everybody.
OMG. Yes. I love this. This has been absolutely amazing.
And
Woman
excited.
of God, how can the people connect with you?
JoLandaHarris.com. www.JoLandaHarris.com. Everything on Facebook, Instagram is JoLanda Harris. JoLanda.
Yes.
Harris. I'm easy to find. You can find me. Just scream, woo-doo. I'm right there. Here I am.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. Well, thank you so much. When you come back?
Yes, I'll come back. What do you mean?
Yes.
I'm going to be right here. What do you mean?
Wow, this has been absolutely amazing. I want to take the time to thank my very special guest, Minister JoLanda Harris. This has been absolutely amazing. Pick up a copy of this epic book, The Diary of a Church Girl. It's absolutely amazing. Well, we got like 1 more minute. I just want you to just minister to somebody.
Okay.
Just 60 seconds.
Again, like I always say, I did not lose my mind, so I can help you not lose yours. And especially us as women, we give up too easy. And I just want to encourage you, if you feel like giving up, just give it a day. And when you give it a day, give it another day. And after you give it another day, give it another day. And eventually, that vicious cycle is going to turn into a victorious journey and a victorious process. And I believe that. So you can't give up. Can't give up. Just give it a day. Woo! When you give it a day, you give it another day. Because it's an expected end.
Yes.
The end is already expected. We just got to get there. Woo! Don't give up. You can't give up. I didn't give up. I didn't give up. So you can't give up.
Woo! Woo! Don't give up. OMG, you guys, this has been absolutely amazing. Again, I want to take the time to thank my very special guest, Minister JoLanda Harris. It was definitely an honor.
So excited.
Yes. OMG, you guys, listen. I want you to make sure that you tune in next week because we have something absolutely amazing prepared for you. So, you guys, remember, that's next week, same time, same place, right here on The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
And I guess a touchdown. Finally found me someone I can really trust now. I always had so much to say, but no one to say it to.
Thank you for tuning in to The Conversation with Maria Byrd every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on WIGO 1570 AM radio.
So let's have this conversation like a radio station.
WIGO AM 1570, Morrow, Atlanta.
Again, you guys, I want to thank my very special guest, Minister JoLanda Harris. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I had an amazing time.
Wow.
I really did. This was good. Hear me. This was good. I hope everybody was blessed. This was good.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely.
Really,
you guys, make sure you tune in next week right here on The Conversation with Maria Byrd.